Alright, I'm spawned in now at gate Alpha 50 as the sun is setting, which you can see in our chart is just off of taxiway Foxtrot, kind of close to taxiway Papa. We're now going to push back the aircraft and start the engines using the checklist and the controls from last time. I've got a checklist up here for the Boeing 737-8. Depending on when you're watching this video, the checklists that are in the Flight Resources channel in the Discord server might look a little bit different, but we're going to roll with this for now. We won't bother with the jetway or any of the things that are related to actually flying somewhere or coordinating with air traffic control. So as far as charts and flight plan and route and remarks, ATIS, IFR clearance, squawk code, the autopilot, we'll take care of all of that in detail in a future video. But for now, we're going to go ahead and turn the nav and logo lights on as it gets dark here. And we'll verify that the jetway is disconnected. We'll verify that the area around the aircraft is clear. And the next step is the beacon light turning on and then starting the pushback. So we'll have beacon light on. That lets everybody know that we're about to push back. And then we are going to start the pushback by pressing V. And reminder, that puts the engines into, well, it doesn't put the engines into reverse, but it puts us into reverse mode in some voodoo magic sort of way. And as we push back here now, we're going to turn engine number 2 on using the start switch in the engine control panel. As we push back, we're going to go ahead and start to fire up engine number 2. And don't worry, that was the sound of thunder and not the sound of the engine blowing up. You can hear the just like that. I've actually got the sound on this time because it's not raining, thankfully, so you get to hear the CFM 56 boot up. Let's get some action on that. And we're also going to, now that that's come alive, we're going to start engine number 1 as well. And then we'll start the turn for our pushback. If you were listening carefully in the last video, you'll notice I said that when you turn the steering wheel in a car to the left, you end up backing up to the right, which those of you who drive will realize is nonsense. I don't really know what I was talking about, to be honest. But the nose of the car goes to the left, so kind of similar principle. In any case, we're going to back up the aircraft so that we are level with the taxiway, just like we did last time. We'll take it out of reverse since we have enough speed, and hit the brakes to come to a stop. And then we'll take a look back at our checklist. So before taxi now, we have flaps. We'll go ahead and set those to 15 for now. We have flight controls. You can't check the ailerons or the elevator on the ground, unfortunately, but you can check that the rudder is functional. So we'll go rudder right with X, rudder left with Z, and that all seems to be working fine. Of course, we use the brakes to stop the aircraft, so those are working. Those are in order. That's good. And we'll turn taxi lights on, and since it's kind of dark, I'll turn the runway turn-off lights on too. And we can see a little bit better. We'll be able to see the taxiway signs too. And then we'll get a quick idea of where we're taxiing. So if we look at the full taxi map, again, we push back from Alpha 50, so we're just here facing up on the page. You'll notice that the terminal is on the bottom, so now when I scroll up to this map, the terminal's at the top. I'm over here, and I'm facing towards the bottom of the page. So I'm currently on taxiway Foxtrot. I want to go to 27 right at Gulf 5. So I'm going to follow Foxtrot. I'm going to join Papa. I'm going to make a left on taxiway Gulf, and then a right on taxiway Gulf 5. So there's a couple different ways you can do that. You can remember that Gulf is going to be your second left. Of course, if you have the charts up, that's great. Or you can read the signs on the ground if you forget, or if ATC is giving you instructions without charts. So we'll kind of do it both ways here. We're going to go into the spacebar menu and advance the thrust levers so we can start moving. As far as how fast you want to taxi, it really depends. We don't have a hard speed limit at the time of recording this video, but it's reasonable to be between 20 and 30 knots, maybe a little bit faster. Maybe if you're Southwest Airlines, they tend to taxi pretty fast. But I'm just going to toggle the throttle with S and W and just kind of feather it so I'm in that range without having to do too much maintenance with the brakes. So we're coming up to 20 knots now and increasing a little bit. And you'll see from this sign, we're on taxiway Foxtrot. Whoops. We're on taxiway Foxtrot, and we're moving up towards taxiway Papa. Be careful not to move the aircraft off the center line there. This is a little bit finicky sometimes. But we're going to continue the taxi. You can see that now we're joining Papa and leaving Foxtrot, which goes that way. And again, if we take a look at our map, we're now coming down this section here. We're going to take the second left onto Gulf. So as we start to look ahead now, you can see that this first taxiway is off to the right. That's going to be Juliet. And you'll see that on the sign here in just a minute. Once we get there, we're up to about 26 knots and not really increasing. So this is about a good speed to just let it breathe. You want to try to keep the aircraft on the center line, which I'm doing a fairly poor job of right now. But hopefully that's clear. We'll take a look at this sign. So we're currently on taxiway Papa because it's in black. And on the right there is taxiway Juliet, which we don't want to join. We want to join taxiway Gulf. So as we come up now to this sign, we see that Gulf is left and right. So that's exactly what we want. We want to make a left on taxiway Gulf. And I'll slow the aircraft just a little bit so I can make this turn. You don't want to go too fast in the turns. Otherwise, you're going to get way off the center line. This first turn here is Gulf 4, as you can see there. And the second turn is going to be what we want, which is Gulf 5. You can also see the runway here with the white markings and the red lights in the middle. So there you go, Gulf 5 off to the right side. So we'll start to slow the aircraft as well because we're approaching the runway and we know we're going to have to stop. So we're going to make this right turn now onto Gulf 5. I'll start to bring the engines back just a little bit towards idle, which I'll put them at idle now because we're about 20 knots. And there you go. There's the hold short bar, the same one that was in the video. You can also see that we're approaching a runway because that sign is red and it says 27 right. And we're going to bring the aircraft to a complete stop with the entire aircraft short of the solid lines on the hold short bar. Just like that. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at our checklist one more time. We have before takeoff, brakes have been checked. And from there, it's lining up. For the sake of argument, we can turn on the landing lights, I suppose. But that's just about it. There you have it. We're now taxied to the runway. We're almost ready to get in the air, and we'll cover that in the next video. As always, feel free to reach out to instructors with any questions, and have a good one.